Right, hello everyone. Welcome to PRF1 Round 16 Zandvoort in Holland. The next round of what's been a brilliant championship, led mainly by the spread, who's being at the moment by Hambo. Should be on for a great race. We've got 15 drivers involved, and we've got a full session followed by a 50% race. I believe there's also going to be another free joining during Quali 1 as well, so we're actually going to be waiting by the race, which is great. A few were in doing practice before the race, got up to speed with I thought I'd go in and show them just because I'm over the comms now. Instead of driving, that I might just go in and sort of show them all how it's done, but it didn't work out. I was a bit rubbish, so. Hey, now then, Ellie. Now then. You used to say that. Don't used to say. Evening, welcome to Fun Streams. Thank pleasure to be here. And looking forward to. It's going to be a great race. I hope it's not like the Zandvoort race I did actually do on recently, where it was just a complete fest. I probably said that. I probably just cursed it. No worries, Pete. Fine, buddy. You're doing as much as I'm helping out them. They're helping out as well. Some streams as I can each week, as well as trying to raise myself in leagues as well. So it's really appreciated. So it looks like Lennon's going to be first out on track. Let's get some details up. We could have the full track map. Enable the Delta. Don't really need tyres for the first quali, so they'll be using softs. Possibly from Ambo. He does like to use the mediums to get through quali 1 for some reason. I don't know why. So Lennon first out on track in the Ferrari, so we'll keep an eye on him and see what sort of benchmark he can set. I'm just wondering if the free joining are going to make it in time before we end the Q1, because as it stands right now, just the 15 drivers mean they'd all go through, but with 3 more joining, they can't afford to rely on that. So we'll see what sort of benchmark they can lay down. I think getting through Q1, you're probably going to need something in the low 12s, I'm guessing. Maybe a little bit higher than that. Might sort of mid 12s might be okay. I'm not sure. I really don't know, if I'm honest. It's actually so long since I raced Zandvoort myself. I can't remember what's a good time and what's not. I can't go by my pre-race practice because it was rubbish. So Lennon's across the line then. Let's watch our first flying lap. My first flying lap of being the comms for PRF1. Let's make it a good one. The left hairpin, all the different elevations of the circuit is impressive around here at Zandvoort. Does seem to make for difficult traction though. Right, it's 25-3 in the first sector, so not bad, I don't think. Continues on into the more sort of technical middle sector. Some yellow flags out. I think that was a little moment for an Alpine. I won't switch to it, we'll stick with Lennon. I think that was an Alpine having a little moment. It's still going though, as I think 16 now, so somebody will definitely be eliminated in this section. As Lennon comes around the final corner onto the main straight, banking going on, and the banker lap for Lennon is a 1:12.6, which is pretty good. As I said, I think somewhere sort of low to medium 12s will probably be enough to get through the first session. This is the Alpine that I think had a spin, and as you can see, Danny's into the pits. So let's go to the AlphaTauri then of Gazelle. Let's see if he's on an out lap actually. In that case, I think the Mercs are next. Find the first one. This is Gumba. He's on an out lap, so let's go back to his teammate, which is Apex, who's on a hot lap, but he's invalidated. In that case, we need to go to Bosjan. The Alfa Romeo. I'll tell you what, I've left. That's my seat. I've left the Alfa Romeo. I was doing alright for him, and but I couldn't have left it in 2 more for tonight, in a way. Bosjan and Greza couldn't be more capable hands than those two, to be fair. Bosjan's first lap, though, he must have made a mistake somewhere. It's a 21.8. There is a Ferrari coming over the line. I don't know if I'm going to get to him in... Oh no, he's gone into the pits in a way. Forget that. The other Ferrari's coming over the line. That's Ghost Rider. He's on an outlap. This ain't going very well. Where is he? Fatal Defiance is on an outlap. Right, there's a Haas. That must be Private Comet. Oh, he's off track. Oh, and luckily Ghosting's on. Otherwise that would have been a bit of a smash. Who's that that's coming around here then? Oh, that's Dark Lord, also an outlap. Apex is going round again. Is he getting a time in this time? He does. A 13.0, puts in PT for the moment. Goomba across the line on a 17.3 and goes P3 for the moment. So they'll need to improve on those times before the end. Red Bull then in the McLaren. It's always a difficult one, this. Red Bull in the McLaren goes fastest with 1:11.4, which I think that will be comfortable to get into Q2. One of the Alfa Romeos is coming through. Who's that? Oh, into the pits. Ghost Rider just crossed the line. I think he must have been validated. Let's stick with Ghost Rider and actually see someone do a lap then. There was a yellow flag there in sector 1, but I think that was just a McLaren of Red Bull getting through. Ironically letting the Red Bull through. I'm so going to get confused with all that before the end of this. For those of you watching, I can see there's a few of you there now. Make any comments or anything, I will keep an eye on it. And reply as I see them. So, Gazelle's just gone fastest in the AlphaTauri with 1:11.3. As Private Comet has been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane entrance or exit. I think it was exit because he's just gone around turn 1 as Ghost Rider flies off into the wall, but doesn't appear to be any obvious damage, so I think he'll probably pit and go again. He will indeed. Let's go to my replacement then. Oh no, he's still on an outlap. He's really early in the lap, so forget that. Some Alpine coming into the final corner. So we got Danny. This is a proper lap from Danny, so let's see what he can do. He goes fastest to 1:11.347. So Alpine taking the lead. McLaren's into the pits of Fatal Defiance. He's gone P9 by the way, 1:13.9. Who's going to be first to start a lap? There's quite a few on outlaps at the moment, so let's just see. Yeah, I think Grez is going to be first to start a proper lap, so we'll go with him. Lennon's just retired. He's in the pits, so I don't know if he's reacted there to the fact that Private Comet has been disqualified, but there could still be a couple more joining yet, Lennon. Gazelle's retired, but I think his time's definitely safe. With Reza, see what sort of first sector time he can do, and trying to work out what sort of times are good. I know the earlier lap we saw was 25, so he's 24.8 and purple in sector 1. Just realised that Hambo isn't with us tonight. I hope he's one of the ones joining in. Quality at some stage, so that he's the one that's keeping the championship alive, chasing after Master Spread. Reza. Didn't see what the sector 2 time is. Just coming around the final corner now. Huge banking on that corner. And he comes across the line on an 11 flat. So he goes fastest in Q1 as it stands. Let's go to Dark Mark, who's just coming up to the final corners now. The AlphaTauri, see if he can just get his time on the board, which is the main thing at the moment. Just 16 on the grid. So he goes 13.0, which puts him P8. Ghost Rider must have invalidated again, as Bosjan goes P5 and the other Alfa Romeo, so Alfa Romeo now P1 and P5. Doing me proud, Alpha boys. So we got, let's go with Ghost Rider. Just struggling to get the time on the board at the moment, it's Ghost Rider, but I'm sure he'll be fine. As it stands right now, he could just sort of slow down and put any old time on the board. That would see him through as it stands right this second. So I think we've got a couple more joining, but it depends whether they get in time to set a lap or not. Spreader's still not set a lap yet, or Demon. Demon's... Oh no, I think Demon's just joined us actually, so we're up to 17 now. So Ghost Rider coming across the line, and he's going to go 112.2 up to P8, so decent lap from Ghost Rider. So Spreader's on an out lap. Is anybody up here actually? No, Bosjan's going slow. Big D's 6.5 temps down after sector 1, so it's just not improved there. Like Ghost Rider, he's coming up to the end of sector 1, see if he looks like he's going again. No, it's a second down. Jala. Coming up to the end of sector 2 is 3.5 temps down. Fatal Defiance is up. No, that was for the end of the lap, so he's gone P11 on that previous lap on A1 13.0. 9 tenths better than his previous go. So let's go to Master Spread in the Aston Martin. We know he's going to be high up the order at the end of qualifying. Oh, that's a sort of move out of the way of the Ferrari there. Not sure that was the best bit of getting out of the way from Ghost Rider there on the Ferrari. Just kind of on the racing line, but Master Spread evading him, and there's no harm done. I'm sure Spreader will get through comfortably enough. So he goes fastest in a way with a 110.9. Never ceases to amaze me. His pace, him and Hambo, definitely. I think Rez is going to be the same as well once he's sort of comfortable enough and running back in the league again. Fatal Defiance then is up, so we're going to see a much stronger lap. Fatal Defiance, there was a car around in the background, I think it might have been a Williams. Oh, this disappeared, I think it was Demon. Demon's retired. I can't be 100% sure on that. But Demon has retired, whether he's just done that in the pits or not, I'm not 100% sure. So, Dark Mark, I don't know if he was doing another lap, but he's invalid. Split time 4. I would assume Spreader's just slowing down. Yeah, he is. Gumba, maybe. Yeah, Gumba's 6 temps up in the first sector. So let's stay with him. His Merc teammate is actually 6 temps ahead. Apex in P14 at the moment. So let's see if Gumba can make himself the Mercedes #1 going into Q2. Oh, Apex is out on track as well. So now 8.5 temps up is Gumba. So he's challenging. By the looks of it, for P11, P12. So he goes P11 just ahead of Lennon on a 112.5. Well done, Goomba. That one will see you through comfortably, I think, now. Dark Mark. One thing I will say is Dark Mark is a lot quicker than Zero. So you can improve on that now. He does to a 112.3. Still think he's quicker than that as well, but that's enough to get him through. That's all he needs to do. As Apex goes back ahead of his teammate on a 12.4. The bragging rights going into Q2. And I think still got 3 minutes left, but that Red Bull in the McLaren actually did go a little bit faster. He's up to P3. Oh, Dark Mark has 6 out. Braking signs, whatever you want to call them. Nobody else needs them, Mark. That's fine. Don't worry. I think I might have seen in the chat he might have had a few bevers, you know. He's driving a little bit like that at the moment. Oh, just escaping the back there. Any of the Haas garage want to get out and pick that wheel up. There's a wheel's been left on the track just at the pit entry. You could get up and nick that. That might come in handy later in the season, boys. So Red Bull and Goomba, the only ones left on track now. Probably just getting a bit of practice ready for the next qualifying sessions. 6 thousandths down. Oh, why was there? He's having a Goomba. He's had a little off the track moment, I think, there. He'll be heading into the pits now. So Red Bull's coming up to the end of sector 2. Let's see if we can improve. Oh, he's pretty much... He's 17 thousandths of a second down as it stands, which is just... not even a blink of an eye. But now he's well down because he's slowed right down. Well, you've done that, Red Bull. And he's the last person out on track, the last person in the session. Everybody else has now retired and is ready to get on with Q2. And into the pits comes Red Bull. Red Bull and the McLaren. So gonna mess that up. Just retire, Red Bull. You're fine. Just retire, mate. We can get on with Q2. Red Bull, retire. Oh well. Well done to 15 guys getting through. Unfortunately, we're losing PRF1 Demon. I'm unsure if he actually retired on track, Demon, or if he just retired in pits because he was late. I'm not 100% sure. So, lose him, and unfortunately we lost Private, who was disqualified for blocking the pit lane. I don't know if he stopped at the end of the pit lane to do a practice start, and then somebody came out. I have no idea. I've only ever seen that once before, and I didn't know what happened that time either, so not a clue. There's the end of qualifying in a way. So sped us through in as fastest time as 110.9. I think by the time we get to Q3 we'll see that come down quite a bit. Guys would love to be able to get into Q3 on the mediums, but whether they'll risk that or not, it's quite important track position around Zandvoort. So, but the 2 alphas doing me proud. Couldn't have handed over to better guys really. So, good job, lads. That's the main thing coming up now is Q2 to see who can get into that final shootout. So, lots of Fatal Defiance, Dark Mark, Apex, Lennon and Pajala are going to have to try and find a little bit more time. See if they can manage it. It's, regard sort of strategy around Zandvoort, I'm not 100% on it. It's probably a short lap. It's quite on tyres, and it's not one of the hardest tracks on tyres. Probably manages soft medium or medium soft, but I expect the game would give kind of a 2-stop as well. I'm guessing you'd like to be starting on mediums if you can, so that you can have a bit of a strategy choice in case of a safety car or anything like that at a particular time. Mind you, I know, for example, Greza likes to qualify on the softs through Q2 in order to, because he likes to be able to start the race off on softs so that he's got that stint sort of done, and then the medium tyres become available. So we'll have to see what they do. As it stands right now, the only two that have put the mediums on are Big D and Boschian. But some of the guys might be using their Q1 softs in order to do a sort of set a sighter sort of lap. But Lennon once again out on track. Remember in real life when the guys used to come out as quick as possible, like all the low teams used to come out as quick as possible. They'd even queue at the end of the pit lane so that they could get a little bit of television time for that extra bit of money. Remember the minorities doing it, and all sorts of teams that were down at the back used to do it. So Lennon crosses the line to start his first attempt of getting into Q3. So we know with sets of 1 you need to be in the 24s somewhere to be on target for a decent lap. Let's just see what Lennon can do. All pretty tidy so far. But it's a 26-1. He has invalidated. Oh, he's managed to invalidate that one. So let's move on. Let's see a thing now. Now for Romeo. No, he's on an out lap. The other Ferrari, maybe. That's Lennon again. Ghost Rider, where are you? Ghost Rider is on an out lap. Anyone who's not on an out lap, great right now. Red Bull isn't actually. Let's go to Red Bull. So Red Bull didn't catch his first sets of time, so not sure where that was at. He's on the soft tyres again. Could just be setting a sighter. So I know I can only tell you from my perspective. I used to do that. 50.6. I still do. I haven't retired or anything. I do still drive. I still do that. I set a sighter lap normally with my ERS turned off, and I don't use DRS or anything like that. So Red Bull comes across the line on a 112.6. So actually puts him second, just ahead of him there. Dark Lord went fastest on a 12.4. Again, I think those are sort of cider times. I don't think that'll get you into Q3. So I think they're just ciders ready to go out, probably on the mediums. Big D on the mediums has done a 12.6. Oh, Dark Lord. Where have we lost him? There's a McLaren close to him. Is that Red Bull? Just right on board actually. We failed defiance. He was over on the left there. He's lost it. Oh, I see. Yeah, that was around the quick right-hander. Awkward place to lose it, actually, a bit different. Dark Lord out. I did mention he maybe had a few bevies before the race, so he's crashed out in Q2 in a way. Let's leave it at that. We may as well stick with Fatal Defiance to see this lap out now. Into the final corners. Opens up the DRS and he comes across the line and Fatal Defiance on a 13.5. So that goes P8 again. I suspect it's a sighter ready to come out on a set of mediums. as Grez has now gone fastest on his softs on a 1:10.8. Danny as well has also done a 1:10.8, so just 0.06 of a second separating those two. They've both done that on the softs, so I think that is their actual laps. Who else we got? It's an Aston, is that Mr. Spread? It must be. No. That wasn't an Aston then, was it? Goodness knows who it was. Boschian has done an 11.7 to go P4 on the mediums. I think Spreader's had a bit of something happen on his first attempt, so he's coming back round to start another lap on the medium tyres. Gazelle's gone into P3, so that might have been who it was. Ghost Rider's gone P5. Yeah, and I think you can have to be in the 11s, I think, here to get through. I'm not sure exactly how far into the 11s, but I think you can have to be in the 11s into Q3. Spreader then, up to the end of Sector 1. He's 24.9. That's a decent first sector. You saw there actually was 11.8 up from his previous lap that he invalidated, or that he backed out of, so clearly it was very early on in the lap that he had something happen. So up to the end of Sector 2 on a 49.5. This is meaning he's gonna... Well, he's on target to be in the 11s somewhere on the medium tyres. Have to see exactly where. It's an 11.294, so that puts him P3 and the fastest of the medium runners so far. Now he's had to use an extra lap on those mediums. Will that change his mind to coming back out of softs? We'll have to see. Pajala at the moment. He's got an AlphaTauri just up ahead, but they're well out of the way. So, yeah, Pajala's half a second up at the moment, so we'll stick with Pajala. This would gain him an extra position as it stands. See if we can gain anything else in Sector 3. Big banking right-hander onto the main straight. Actually, Pitts decides to get out of that one. And Pitts, I suppose it's not really doing him any favours doing extra laps on the softs, so gives him some time now to get in, put on a new set of tyres and get ready to go again. Dartmark's now back round onto a hot lap. Sorry, it was Dark Lord that retired earlier, wasn't it? Martin's been on the Bevis, so I apologise, Dark Lord. My mistake. So... Dartmark just going up to the end of Sector 2, he's on a 49.6, so he's on the same... Actually, I think a tiny little bit quicker than Spreader was through there. So he's on for a quick time here. Could be the quickest. So far he's taking a little bit of grass on the entrance into the final corner. Might just affect him slightly. He's crossed the line on a 1:11.5 in the end, so he could lose quite a bit of time in the final sector. But it puts him P5 and, as it stands right now, comfortably through. And then he crashes. Oh, Mark, what have you done? Oh dear. So let's drop some down to it. So Mark in P8, Apex P9, Dark Lord P10 have all retired. But in order to get to Q3, these guys are going to have to go quicker. As it stands right now, we could only have 7 runners for Q3 if none of these guys improve. Let's see what Lennon can do in Actually, no, let's go to Big D. He's just coming up to the end of Sector 2 now. He's half a second up at the moment, which would be enough to provisionally put him through, if we can maintain that through the final sector. It's quite wide through there, but was still just within limits, so doesn't invalidate. Comes across the line on a 1:11.9, so that puts him P6. Potentially through, but done a few laps on those mediums. Who else have we got out there? Lennon, I think, just come in. Well, he's coming into the pits, so probably smart. If he wasn't on a good lap, he's got time to stick another set of tyres on and give it another go if he wants. So then Red Bull's going to be the next one. He's still on the medium. Well, he's out on the mediums now. He hasn't done any laps on these. This is his first lap. Apart from the out lap, of course. But he's coming up to the end of Sector 2 now, and he's 49.950. 7 tenths up on his previous time, which means he's also heading for the 1:11s on the mediums, which is very respectable. See that Spreader has put a set of softs on, but he's still sat in the pits at the moment, so see if he comes out. But Red Bull crosses the line then and goes P6. And looks good to be through, so at the moment only one retiree still in the top 10, and that's Dark Mark. So it's just up to Ghana, Lennon and Defiance. Fatal Defiance has come out and he's out on mediums. So it's do or die, either through or not. Let's go to Ghost Rider though, because he's out. About to cross the line and go on to a hot lap. Tidy through the first corner. To the left-hander hairpin, which you can take in multiple ways. You don't have to take the tightest line through there. You can take a high line as well. In fact, if you remember back to them racing in real life, they were all taking high line corner. I don't think that's really been reflected in the game at all. Just looks like Ghost got a little bit out of shape in Sector 2. We'll see how he's doing. He's coming up to the end of Sector 2 along this straight, so we'll see how he's getting on. He's 49.9, he's half a second up, which is around the 1:11.7 sort of mark, which is where Red Bull is and Boshan are, so see if Ghost Rider just get himself a bit safer. He goes P7 then. He's just behind Boshan and Red Bull on a 1:11.8, but gets ahead of Big D. Gumba has retired out of session. I don't know how many of these guys actually retired in the pits, by the way, so I know the only one I know for sure didn't was Dark Mark, and I think Dark Lord as well. Lennon's decided not to give it another go, but Bajala is. Master Spread is out, so I wasn't sure whether he'd stick with his mediums or not. Looks like he's decided not to. Bajala, what does he need to find to get ahead of Dark Mark? He needs to find effectively 1.1 seconds over the course of the whole lap. Coming up to the end of Sector 2 now, and he's half a tenth up, so he's got a lot to find in the final sector to get through. But he is on target to improve his position though. I say that he doesn't need to find 1.1. My apologies, he's only just missed out. Pajana goes P11. They say that's the next place to start, best place to start after first, so we'll see. But I think that's a good qualifying from Pajala. 1:12.1. He's only actually I've misread it, and he's only 600ths of a second off of displacing Goomba and taking a place in Q3. Fatal Defiance then The end of sector 2 is almost 7 tenths up, so he does need to find quite a substantial amount of time in the final sector. He may still be able to gain some places, even if it doesn't manage. There's 112.4 and Apex in P12. Bajala and Fatal Defiance will have the tyre choice, which is a good advantage to have. But unless Bajala has carried on, he has, you know, he's half a tenth up. Can he do it? He does. He is. He's P9. Bajala is through into Q3 with his last lap of the session. It's a great job from Bajala. Congratulations, mate. That's a great job. Let's go faster on the second lap. Only time will tell if that was the right thing strategy-wise to force your way through, but a great lap in a way, nonetheless, to get yourself through, buddy. Well, I said we'd have to get into the 111s to have a chance of Q3, and 111.995 has gotten Bajala into Q3, so well done. I think we're going to have just the 9 runners in Q3 by the looks of it, because start mark was P10 and we saw him crash, so I think that's what we're going to have. Yeah, great job, Bajala. Thanks, Grezzy. He's done a stellar job there. So, out of our top 10, we got 4 guys who qualified on mediums. Gazelle, Boschian, Red Bull, and Big D have all qualified on mediums. May become an advantage in the race. It's hard to tell on that one. But in this session, then, we're losing Dark Mark, who crashed, but will start 10th. Goomba in P11, Fatal Defiance 12th, Pets in 13th, Dark Lord 14th, and Lennon in P15. So it's the end of the road in qualifying for those guys, but a great job from Bajala on that set of tyres to force his way into the final shootout for pole. So who's your money on, guys? Spreader went fastest in the end on that lap he did on the softs on a 1:10.6. From what we've seen so far, you've got to say Spreader's probably favourite, but I am sure that Greza, as well as a few others actually, to be fair, it could push him. Clearly Danny's got some pace in him, and I think Boschian has as well. I mean, that 1:11.7 on softs, that would probably translate into a high 1:10. So the same obviously for the Gazelle as well. So yeah, should be a good final session, final qualifying. See who can take it. It could be all important at Netherlands track position. So I don't know what's we've just been held up a little bit now. I don't know if somebody's spinning. Perhaps somebody that went out round. I see the message come out from Spreader. Come on, guys, ready up. Let's get on with it. It's 9:10, so it's not doing bad time-wise so far. It's slightly disappointing not to see Hamburg tonight and challenging Spreader. Would have been nice. Sorry, I can't say Spreader without saying it in a really sort of farmer accent, because I'm Bristolian and it's a really sort of farmer, you know, like muck spreader. I can't say it without sounding like a farmer, so there's lots of words like that I can't say without sounding like a farmer. That's just one of them. Like fertilizer, I can't say fertilizer. I know that, okay, yeah, I'm now using farmer words. Just something I can't do. We got a fellow Bristol guy in the league, haven't we? Greza note. I'm sure there's a fellow Bristol boy in the league. This screen quickly lost its excitement. Let's go to the race director and look what was in there. Incidents. Lennon exceeded track limits. Terminal damage for Dart Lord. DNF. Ghost Rider warning. Speeding in the pit lane, Ghost Rider. It's not allowed. Apex DNF. Mark DNF. Both terminal damage. Fatal Defiance. Exceeded the track limits. This and the next lap invalidated. Well, Ghost Rider received a warning. So Ghost Rider received 2 warnings for speeding in the pit lane. Surely that's a penalty. That's got to be a grid penalty, definitely. Sorry, Ghost Rider, but that's a bit naughty. Dynamite says the wall's done one of my wheels. We saw it, mate. Raid, we was on you at the time, kind of. It's, I'd say it was unfortunate, but hadn't you had a few bevies tonight? Someone's getting the hurry up. Thomas Scott. Who's Thomas Scott? Run out of things to look at. And it's moments like this is why the commentator should really spend a bit of time getting some time filling stuff. Only a couple of drinks, honest. Yeah, Dark Mark, did you know Ghost Rider sped twice into the pit lane, so I think he should get a grid penalty. 5-place grid penalty. Possibly for each one, maybe it's a 10-place grid penalty. Or would you do a warning on the first one? You blame Apex for you having a few drinks. Bad influence, clearly. Oh, God. We're waiting for one who's obviously taking ages, but why is it not doing a countdown after so long? Have we actually got a lot of things gone wrong, or just somebody not readying up? But it should be a countdown if they're just not readying up, surely. It's Thomas Scott, I'm not sure from the gamer tags who Thomas Scott is. I got used to the name yet, that's what I need to do. And I forgot to add everybody before the race started. One thing I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do tonight, guys, for those of you who are listening, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do... Well, I don't think I will be able to do end of post-race interviews. Because when people join me in my party, they never add their audio. I could try getting someone in to see if they can add their audio. Oh, is it Demon? That's who it is, okay. Bajala apologising for his teammate. That's what I was... Timer. Why isn't it coming up? Demon's left the session now in a way. He's not racing. Emergency means he's not racing. Okay, mate. I hope there's nothing too serious, Demon. And wish you all the best, mate. Anyway, we're back for Q3. And that was an AlphaTauri. That's Gazelle is getting out on track. Yeah, a few well wishes going in. People are a bit worried. One of the Alfa Romeos, it's so we'll stick with Gazelle anyway. Let's get some details back up again. Why does it have to disappear every time? Never understood that. Don't need too soft, so just keep it to that. Get those two swings. Here we are. So, who do we reckon is going to take pole? As I said in the little break we had, I think Spreader is probably favourite. Probably quite a substantial favourite in all fairness, but as I said, I think there's 3 or 4 guys certainly 3 or 4 guys, maybe more, that might have something to say. You know, Greza and stick the Alfa Romeo on the first. Makes me look bad. Just don't stick it on pole. As proud as I would be of you. Terrible. So Gazelle coming through to the end of sector 1. As we see 24 somewhere in a year. Definitely that. 24.59. And that is in the wall. Didn't bother following him. He's in the wall and he's lost his wheel out of qualifying in sector 1. Let's go to Bosjan then. I don't know whether the retirements affected these guys' laps. We'll just have to wait and see. He's come through 49.7 in sector 2. So I'd suggest he's on to set a decent little benchmark for the first guys over. He's being followed by the McLaren of Red Bull. Bosjan opens up the DRS, crosses the line on a 1:11.5, and Red Bull comes across on a 1:11.7. That looked to me like Danny had slowed down. Let's just, yeah, he has. So let's go to the next guy, who is Master Spread. So I suspect that Bosjan and Spreader does 1:11.2, goes quickest for the moment. Big D had invalidated, so his time won't count. And it looks like he may have invalidated this and the next lap, so I think he'll just be coming around into the pits. Is this Greza? He's on an out lap. So let's just go back to Bosjan and see if these guys are doing an extra lap. Bosjan isn't. And Red Bull isn't either, so one of those guys. What about Big D? Did he carry on to try another? 25.4. So, oh, you know, of course he'd validated, hadn't he? So let's go to Greza then. So just come out to the end of sector 1. It's on a 24.5. It's purple in the first sector. Oh, he runs out wide. He's done well not to find the wall there, to be fair to him. He did what Gazelle didn't manage and missed the wall. Ruined what was looking like a very good lap, unfortunately. But at least he lives to fight for another run. Potentially still just slow down now and actually do another lap, so we're now with Rapid Pajala though, who's already gone on 1:11.8. I think he was well down then. I didn't actually see. Didn't quite catch Danny's either, so let's just stick with Pajala through to the end of sector 2. Greza has crossed the line, so he is going for another lap. Right, yeah, clearly Pajala and Danny aren't doing another lap, so let's go back to Greza. So it was 24.5 in sector 1 on the previous lap. This time he's across, it's almost identical. 24.5 again. This time he pushes the limits but keeps it on track nicely. A bit wide through there on the exits. Keeps the hairpin nicely on the power on the exits. That corner is all about. And it's 49.2 in sector 2. He's purpled that as well. This is looking like a very good lap on the first run from Greza. Uses a nice amount of curb on the exit. Round the full banking. Final corner across the line on a 110.6. He goes provisional pole as it stands by just over half a second. I'm sure Greza's gonna. I'm sure Spreader's gonna put something in to battle that, but that's an impressive first run from Greza, without doubt. Let's take a look at Boschian in the other Alfa Romeo. His second run now. He's so far gone 111.5 and needs to find just over 3 attempts to trouble Master Spread at the moment. If Spreader wasn't able to get another lap in, he's out on track now, Spreader, I think. And is he? No, he's not. Apologies, still in the... Yes, he is. It just took a while to change from pit to out lap. So, Boschian, because I was chatting away, I completely missed his first sector, but he's coming up to the end of sector 2 now. Is he going to get a little toe off of his teammate here? He does. Only a little one, but he does. And he's a tenth and a half up as it stands. Jan. Uses all the curb that he's allowed. And that's at the penultimate corner. Rounds the bank. He's into the pits. Didn't like that lap well enough to complete it, so he ducks into the pits. With plenty of time to stick a new set of tyres on, so if he didn't like it, perhaps that was the smarter thing to do. Red Bull unfortunately is invalidated. Let's go to Ghost Rider. Go to Ghost Rider for a moment, and Master Spread I think is just coming round the final couple of corners ready to start a lap, so we'll move to him in a second. Ghost Rider's 49.9 in sector 2. So yeah, let's go to Master Spread because I suspect this is going to be a challenge for pole position. So he takes the tight line through the hairpin and wide on exit C, so I think that's probably the best line you're going to find. 24.5 in the first sector, about 400ths of a second quicker than what Greza managed, so he's purple. Third side, he's not as wide as Greza through there. But like Greza, very good on the power at the hairpin again. Is he going to purple sector? It's 49.2. He doesn't purple sector 2, but is still up on his previous time. I don't think he's got time to duck into the pits here. I think he's going to have to complete this lap. What he does have time for, if he's got enough fuel, is to do a cool down and then go again. So it's half a second up. He does go P1, provisional pole. Greza's now back out. Let's go down to Ghost Rider then, who's coming up to complete his lap. Into the final corner now. Let's see what he can manage. He doesn't manage anything. He's into the pits, oddly. But he has managed a 111.6 in a way, so it's not too bad. There's Danny, who's invalidated in a way. This is Boschian, he's on an outlap. Who's this? Jala's on an outlap. So Danny's invalidated. Spreader, as I said, he must be doing a cool down, surely. Yeah, he's clearly not doing a proper lap, is he? So let's take a look then. Trying to see who's furthest round. It looks like Big D is, so we'll go with Big D. See where we can stick the Red Bull. No, I think we'll come back off of Big D. He doesn't appear to be on a proper lap, so I think he slowed it down, ready to go again. Pajala. Fine performance from Pajala so far. A really good job. Let's see. He's 50.2 through the second sector, so it's about a quarter of a second down on his best so far. So again, I think he may back out and go another lap. So I think right now, let's go to Greza. He's purple sector 2. Unfortunately, I didn't get a split time, so I'm not sure how much he's looking at improving by, but this could well be a pole position lap for the Alfa Romeo. Across the line, it's a 1:10.5. It's the first lap under 1:10.6 we've seen today. 1:10.5 puts Greza in a strong place for pole position, although Master Spread is up in sector 2 and he's really attacked it through the final corner. He goes 1:10.5. Pole position off. Brilliant lap time there from Spreader. Just seemed to think I had a little bit of a laggy, glitchy thing going on when he actually crossed the line. Pajala then. It's only 7 thousandths of a second down on his time. He doesn't need to find much to gain a place ahead of Big D, so can Pajala produce a good final sector? He does. He goes P7 ahead of Big D. He's pulled out the bag again, and look at this! Red Bull in the McLaren has taken pole position off a Master Spread. Also in a 1:10.5. He's taken it by 12 thousandths of a second. Right, Greza. No, he's not on a lap. Roshan's not on a lap. I think that's the end of qualifying. So, amazingly, right at the death, Red Bull surprises us all and takes pole position with 1:10.502 as opposed to Master Spread's 1:10.514 and Greza's 1:10.539. So, massive congrats to Red Bull. That was a huge lap at the end. Unfortunately, didn't catch it. Wasn't aware of that one, so I missed that. But an outstanding lap from him, and congratulations on pole. Master Spread will start P2. Greza's in P3. So just have to wait for the standings to come out to confirm the others. So, yeah, so Greza P3, Danny's P4, Boschian P5, Ghost Rider P6, Pajala's in P7, a great qualifying from Pajala in the Williams. Big D in P8, and Gazelle P9. Unfortunately, crashed out when he was on a really good first lap. He'd done a very fast first sector. He was on target to be up with the boys that are in the mid 110s. So at that point, obviously a lot of lap to do, but at that point he was. So just unfortunate, but I'm sure you get it done in the race. So congratulations to those guys. As we do every week, guys, we're going to take a quick break. You take about 5 minutes, and then we'll be back for the race start. Start with formation lap as usual. So back in 5. I'm just pop you onto the break screen, and I'll be back shortly. Just going to get myself a quick drink, and I'll see you in a bit. Right. Hello everyone, we're back. They've just started. You haven't missed anything. Just while they're doing the formation, that will take standings. So As you can see at the moment on your screen, or I hope you can see in a way, Master Spread currently leading the way. He's followed 13 points behind Bites, with a chance for Master Spread to extend that. Then there's quite a big gap then, back to third place, 109 points to Dark Mark. Myself in P4, although obviously I'll be coming off of that soon. Gazelle in P5, a chance for him to gain a bit tonight. And do the drivers. Just going to tell you what, we won't have a look at the constructors because they're getting a bit close to the start of the race, so we'll leave the constructors from out. Perhaps if we have a safety car at some point we could take a look at it then. Let's just bring the feedback up for you so we can continue to take a look. So as you can see, they're just coming round to the grid. Hey Woodsy, thanks for tuning in, mate. Nice to see ya. I'm just gonna nip my phone on charge before they start because it's getting a bit low. Right, there we go. So the 5 lights are on and we are go. Got a terrible angle. Can we have something better? There we go. Red Bull looks like he's gone away pretty nicely. Reza's attacking Spread around the outside of turn 1. And it looks like Spread has managed to fend him off for now. He's going to have to back out at that point. So Red Bull comfortably holds on to the lead. Reza's coming under a bit of pressure from the Alpine. It looks like the Alpine's got ahead of him. So Reza drops in the end after attacking for P2. He's dropped in the end to P4. And Danny up into third in the Alpine, so good start from him. Just get some. Looks like one good thing to see around Zandvoort. It does look like everybody's gotten around pretty safely. Just some position changes. So yeah, a couple of good movers. So Gazelle's up 3 places already. Dark Mark's gained a couple. Dark Lord's gained 1. Private from the back as well, so obviously bear in mind Demon had to drop unfortunately. He has. They're going to be side by side into turn 1. The Spreader takes it up the inside. Alpia Daddy seeing if he could take some sort of advantage from that, but in the end decides to slot in behind the McLaren. Takes the high line out of the hairpin, but it's kind of doing well even around straight here to be able to make any sort of move. It's only really 2 places that are proper overtake chances around here. Obviously the main straight into turn 1 is the biggest opportunity by a mile, but this here as well, once DRS is on, this is an opportunity as well. I mean, to turn whatever number it is. As we've got a set to 2 moment, there's a McLaren, it's Fatal Defiance. He is off track. Seems to have lost it. To land up there. But he's kept it going, has not. Should be able to see here. Doesn't appear to be any obvious damage on the car. It's just something we can't see. So Danny is having a look now at Red Bull. Oh, you're brave going through there side by side, but they do manage it. Danny's going to have the inside line. Has he got the traction out of the hairpin? He does. And Red Bull just looks like he's struggling a little bit. Is he started on the mediums actually? Is that... Ah, yes, I see. So, yeah, Red Bull started on the medium tyres. Of course he did. So that's why the other cars have got the advantage at the moment, but Danny's round. He's going to have to wait for everybody before rejoining the track. There's a gap after the Ferrari, so should be able to get on here. His tyres are going to be pretty lit up right now. What a shame for Danny, because he'd had a great start to the race. We'll go to Greza, because I think he's going to be attacking the back of Red Bull pretty heavily. So the Alfa Romeo is now running P3 and P4. Red Bull goes defensive to the inside, but Greza's basically got the move done before they reach the corner. Just shows the difference once DRS is activated. These two guys have made a bit of a gap over Jan at the moment. It's not a massive gap, but it's 1.4, so at a DRS, which is the main sort of thing. Private Comet, by the way, in the Haas has just made his way up into P10. What a start to the race he's having after starting down at the back. Up 7 places already. Really great start. Oh, we've got a Sector 2 yellow. It's Dark Lord. Yeah, at the moment in qualifying, he's been out on the gravel as well, so those tyres are going to be a bit... Oh, and there's an Alpine into the wall. That's Danny. He was close to another car. I do wonder if there was some sort of contact. But Danny was round and into the wall, and the tyres left the car straight away, as the safety mechanism is supposed to do. It's yellow flags at the moment. I don't think this is going to bring out a safety car. Yeah, the car is cleared. The car is off track now, so we can go properly again. Pajala came into the pit lane, and he's sped into the pit lane and picked up 5 seconds. So Pajala, was he changing for damage? Yeah, he did. He had front wing damage. Oh, what a shame after a great qualifying performance. And now Comet's out after his great start to the race. And this is a safety car now. Pajala's pit stops ended up coming at a decent time for him. Comet is out. It was around there. Hairpin. I think he's maybe caught the inside curb on the little... So Pajala's pit stop actually came at a good time for him in the end. He was already stationary by the time the safety car came out, but it's still going to be useful for him. So, oh, I can't do the... I was going to do the constructor standings that I didn't manage to get in before, but I can't because I just put my phone on charge. So we'll leave that for a safety car later in the race if there is one. So our leader, Master Spread, comes into the pits. Looks like everybody else is going through pretty much, but Ghost Rider's into the pits. Everybody else is staying out. It's only Master Spread and Ghost Rider. Lennon's come in. Dark Lord's heading in. The AI of Demon is probably going to get in the way a lot. It's not too bad because he's ghosted, so it could be worse. Lord in Fatal Defiance has come in as well. So Jala in the end is going to get back up to P12. P12, but with the ghosted AI car ahead of him in P11, so it's effectively P11 now. Here's Pajala, so the safety car came out reasonably good time for him. So interesting then that Master Spread decided to pit. We've got to presume then that Master Spread is thinking a further one stop from here, using both sets of mediums. Rez has obviously decided he wanted to keep track position, which makes full sense. Obviously the next 3 guys, Red Bull, Jan and Gazelle, started on the mediums. So that's not turned out too bad for them really. They've now got nice track position. Still go quite some way yet into this race. Dark Mark also stayed out on the softs, as did Gumba, but Big D in between those two is on the mediums. So one interesting start was Apex, ZX Apex decided to start the race on the hard tyres. be inspiring. Yeah, they've been grouped back up, and the other guys ahead have worn their tyres down a bit. We're at a point where the hards would be sort of coming into their own a little. Not up to the speed of the other tyres yet, but they're not going to be a million miles off. Other than that, it's hard to say. I mean, if there were no more safety cars, then the guys at the front can still stick to their one-stop strategies. It's really, I think Master Spread probably be wanting another safety car. He'd probably like another safety car pretty quickly, because then surely the soft guys would all come in and get out of his way. Just waiting at the moment, Fatal Defiance to fix it again, so he's on fresh mediums now. He's just got to catch it back up, so I think we're probably going to end up doing another lap yet. So I think we're going to resume on lap 9. A bit of lagging now. My stream seems to be, my internet seems to be struggling a little bit at the moment. It may not be the internet, maybe the servers. I don't know at all in any leagues or anything like that, but it was an absolute nightmare on Wednesday night. I was aware of 4 different races all starting at 8 PM. Every single one of them had to restart for the same reasons as well. It was an absolute horrendous night on it. Why is Jala nipped ahead of Demon a little bit there? Hold your position, but Jala, it'd be easy to get past once we get going again. The other thing I've sometimes find with the ghosted cars, obviously yes, you could just drive straight through them, but got to be a little careful sometimes. If the car ahead of the ghosted car is quite close in front, it can unsight you a little bit as you're going through. If it's at a braking point or anything like that, it's just got to be a little careful. It's not a massive thing, just a little thing. So we should be going again this lap. Lennon's been given a falling too far back. I've never seen that before. I've seen the, you know, if you fall too far back you get the countdown thing, but I've never seen anybody actually given a penalty for it. There's the confirmation of the safety car in this lap. So let's ride on board actually with Red Bull and see if Greza can catch him or not. Heat back into those tyres at the moment. The safety car is just onto the final corner now. So at the moment the game will be keeping Greza slowed right down. The safety car is reaching the pit lane now. So any time from now Greza could potentially go, and there he goes. And it seemed to catch Red Bull a little bit off guard, and so is Jan. Go to the broadcast cam as Jan in the other Alfa Romeo just sticks it, tries to put it around the outside of the McLaren. Looks like he's going to get this done. Be careful, boys. I don't know, now the McLaren's gotten a little, he seems to have gotten better traction out of the hairpin, and Red Bull does defend second place from Boss Jan, who's now coming under a lot of pressure from Dark Mark. Oh, did we just see? No, we didn't. That was my screen lagging again. I saw somebody going well wide. Lennon has served his drive-through. Somebody's dropping down. It's Red Bull. What's happened to Red Bull? He's round. Dark Lord appears to be round. But they weren't anywhere near each other on track, were they? So I don't know what's happened to Red Bull there, but he's ended up falling back to 13th. He's been round. Just want to check something. Yeah, Lennon. I don't know what's happening to Lennon, but I'm sure he served a drive-through and he's got another one for some reason. I don't know. I think the game might be doing him over a little bit. Jala now back up to P9. Ghost Rider on the back of him, but Pajala in turns on the back of Apex, who of course is on those hard tyres. And Gumba gets past Big D. So Mercedes getting past the Red Bull. And Master Spread seems to just go straight through Big D. Big D's ghosting. Appears that Big D may have lost connection. Is he still ghosting? He is. Yeah, Apex is caught right up to him now, even though he's on hard. So race control confirms that DRS is once again enabled. Rez has pulled out 3 seconds at the front after that incident with Red Bull. One moment, the big battle is Gazelle Roadkill now on the back of Boshan. Both on the medium tyres. Let's get off the penalties now. Yeah, so both on the medium tyres since the start of the race. But Bosch, oh, Gazelle, he saved it. He was, oh no, he's going to go across track. And he's hit 2 others. Oh, I think that's going to get looked at. That's Gumba and Master Spread have been called up in that. It's going to have to be looked at, I think, that one. But to be fair to Gazelle, he looks like he tries to catch it. And when he hits the grass, it just goes on him. And Lennon is out the race. I don't know what was happening to Lennon, if I'm honest. As I say, he seemed to serve a drive-through penalty, and it seems to give him another one after that, and we got another safety car out for that. Oh dear. Not a good night from Lennon. I'm sure he'll tell us in chat what's happened to him, but multiple pitters now. But Master Spread's lost that advantage, and he's had to pit himself. I'm sure he'll be cursing his luck, but as I say, Gazelle did seem to just try and catch the spin, and I think when he did get off track, it just spun him round back onto the track. My view of it. But unfortunately, he's collected 2 of them when coming back onto the track, which has affected them quite severely. So, say that's going to be one for the stewards to look at, I'm sure. As Dark Mart then takes the lead of the race, but is still out on soft tyres, 11 laps old now. Having said that, they'd have had 2 safety car appearances. They wouldn't be as worn as they would be for race laps. Rapid Pajala is back up to P3 now, and only on 6 lap old mediums, and same for Fatal Defiance and Ghost Rider. So they are P3, P4 and P5 on reasonably fresh medium tyres. Reza came out in P6 after his pit stop and went on to hards, so that is a clear intention of going to the end from Reza. Master Spread has also done the same thing, but of course, having been caught up in that incident, is down in P13. And you've got to say, from the situation we're in, well, it all depends on safety cars, doesn't it? If we get through the rest of the race with no more safety cars, then Greza is a huge favourite. Big D's probably his closest rival. Also on hards in P9. But from what we've seen so far, it's quite possible that getting through to the end of this race without any further safety cars is probably a tall order, and going by my experience of Zandvoort in recent times, doing comms on other leagues, it's been a bit of a safety car fest, this track. It's just so many corners that can catch you out, I think. So many curbs of death, as they call them. Yeah, Dark Mark did have a good start, didn't he? Where is he now? I can't even see him. No, he's in P1 now. He's flying. Well, he's in P1 now, Woodsy, but obviously still on those soft tyres. Hey, well. Yeah, it was a bit shocking, wasn't it? I don't know, because without watching it again, on first sight it did look a bit of a silly rejoin into track, but I don't know, perhaps he lost it when trying to save the spin rather than a silly rejoin. I don't know. But the stewards have sorted out, haven't they? Thanks for joining, well. So rapid. Pajala finds herself up in P3 on reasonably fresh medium tyres. Most of the laps that he's actually completed have been done under safety car so far. Oh, he's found himself caught a little bit there. Is that going to give Defiance a run on him into turn 1? No, he seems to have the straight line speed, does he? Looks like Dark Mark got away from Gazelle okay. I think that Gazelle's mediums will be feeling pretty fresh compared to those softs right now, but we lose Red Bull now from the race. Oh, he's on that horrible right-hander before the hairpin, but it seems to be on the left-hand side of the track, which is unusual, unless he's lost it on the left-hand curb. Maybe he was side-by-side with someone, he's lost it on the left-hand curb, I think. There's some position changes starting happening. Bit of a gap going on there. Let's look at Fate of Defiance, who's right on the back of Pajala then. Oh, thanks, well. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time, mate. I just natter on. Anyway, so Pajala coming under pressure, but I already said Pajala did a great job in qualifying for him, and then to be up to P3 at this point of the race and on a what you would probably say is the right set of tyres right now. Ghost Rider drops down to 7th behind Boshan. The Alfa Romeo's gradually now making their way back up. I'm just wondering if we're going to see a team orders thing here from the Alfa Romeos. I think it might be ideal for Greza maybe to let Boshan through as he's on fresh softs. There's Greza's hards. Obviously Greza will most likely get that position back a little later point when Jan has to pit in a way. Jan did start on mediums, but I'm sure he's not going to take the softs 20, what would be 24 laps. Impressive. 160% power or something around here. I think Boshan's swerving a little bit and saying, hey, let me through. Greza. On fresh softs, don't hold me up. But you can understand from Greza's point of view that he's right on the back of the car in front as well, so Jan is swerving about behind him, almost like he's trying to... Oh, Master Spread! Master Spread's out! Ah, he's lost it off the final corner. And that's going to be a safety car, without a doubt. So Gumba, I think, realised that and was straight into the pits. He'd be there. I think he just slowed down because of the delta. I don't think he had a moment or anything. So I've got my phone back now, so I've been responding to comments now. So let's take this opportunity. We'll have a quick look at the constructor standings. Just Give me a moment, because every time I want to change the screen I've got to refresh light stream. It's a pain in the bum. Right, you should now have the constructor stand-ins on your screen. I hope. I don't know. I need to find them. Here we go. So you should be seeing then that Aston Martin are leading Red Bull. Currently 277 to 241, but Aston Martin's only runner was Master Spread tonight. So a chance for... It's only Big D tonight in the Red Bull, but if he can bring home any points, he could close that gap. So... It'll be something. Then 177 is Alpha Tauri, and the Mercs and the Williams. 117, 107, and Alfa Romeo look on 106. When I joined Alfa Romeo, they were P9, absolutely miles off anything, and managed to bring that back somewhat, get them in full contention for higher space. And now tonight, obviously, it's looking great with having Boshan and Greza in the two Alphas for him picking up heavy points tonight. See him leapfrogged away right up to 4th. Start to attack the Alpha Tauris maybe. Although the Alpha Tauris also going very well, so... But Aston Martin and Red Bull both looking at the moment like they're going to lose significant points to the teams that they've left behind a little bit. Depending on Big D, of course. So... There we go, that's the constructors in a way. So, get back onto the green game screen. Once again I have to log back, refresh, and it's making me log back in as well. Excellent. Live stream is awesome for all the like slides and stuff like that, but it's a pain in the bum when you're actually using it. I'm sure if I was using a laptop it'd be fine, because I'm using mobile I've got to keep changing it. Back on the game screen. Is it on the starting soon screen? There we go. I think I should have you back now. I don't know why you ended up on the starting soon screen. That's live stream for you. Funny. Anyway, we've got you back now. So then, after this latest safety car period, Gazelle Roadkill now leads the pack, having not pitted yet off those medium tyres. Perhaps he's with the free safety car periods. You'd think he could push those through to get to a soft stint at the end. Jala now up to P2 and still looking great on those mediums. Fatal Defiance as well. I'm just thinking that somebody may have just lost connection. Big D seems to be with us. Oh, well, yeah, Demon's not. For those that you're watching now, in case you didn't catch it at the start, Demon's not actually there. He's not racing. So effectively, all those guys behind him are up in position. Unfortunately, he did join in quali and then had a bit of an emergency going on at home, so had to pull out. So, as we've already said, we just all hope everything's okay. Hopefully we'll be back next week. So Master spread out, no Hambo on the track. Mark is currently in P3 in the drivers, so any points he can gain would close the gap a little bit. I'm actually currently P4 in the drivers, but obviously not racing anymore. So leave the person behind me. I can't remember who that was off the top of my head, but them chance as well. Just let's go then. The Big D is now almost on the back of the pack, so we'll come up in about half a lap's time to say safety car in this lap. And it'll be a case of seeing one if Gazelle can get away from Bajala. Okay, but really I think the one to watch right this second would be Boshan, who's on 6-lap-old softs. Probably be the one most likely to do anything at this point of the race. As it stands right now, the top... Technically Apex has used different compounds. He started the race on hards, so he could potentially take those mediums to the end. Yeah, he definitely could actually, looking at the amount of laps they've done. Bear in mind they're under safety car. 17 laps remaining. So, yeah, Apex potentially could take us to the end. Dark Mark definitely can, Grezza definitely can. Demon's ghosting in a way, he's not really there. Ghost Rider obviously on hards can go to the end, and so can the Dark Lord Gumba. So, it's going to be a big question of whether there's a further safety cars. Anybody... Oh, hang on! Somebody's gone! That's Dark Mark! Oh no! On Apex's round as well, they've clearly had some sort of contact. Apex recovers it straight into the pits, but Dark Mark is... Usually I'd say that's a guaranteed safety car, but they've got a whole lap to go round, so it's probably going to get cleared in time. Who's... Oh! Oshian's having a look at Fatal Defiance around the outside of the right-hander, and takes the position. So, Boshan now up into P3. So for me now, the top 4 guys all have to pit again, which means Grez is in a great spot right now, as is Ghost Rider and Dark Lord, and Gumba, and Big D. Yeah, I have Demon has to pit again, he's just in the way really. ZX Apex will go to the end now, but obviously is 35 seconds adrift, so we'll be praying for another safety car. The other thing Apex can do right now is try and bring that gap down and hope that you can skip 1 or 2 when they pit. Gumba makes a place up on Dark Lord. As Gumba also has a look at Ghost Rider as well. Oh, Gumba! Careful! They've done well not to hit each other there, to be fair. Gumba's done well there, but so are the guys that were behind him as well. And that takes the pressure off of Ghost Rider a little bit. He's going to struggle a little bit to start with, because he's on hard tyres to take him to the end, so he's bound to struggle a little bit right at the start here. Let's go to Boss Yan. We've got a bit of a 4-car train sort of thing going on. DRS enables this lap then, so Zell at the moment quite happy to see these guys all fighting. It's allowing him to just build up a bit of a gap. The only problem for Gazelle obviously is he started on the tyres he's on, he has to pit. Boshan gets a little bit out of sorts out of the hairpin, but recovers it well. Grez is all over the back of Fatal Defiance as well. It's probably not an area of the track you're going to stick your front wing alongside, really. Next sort of overtaking opportunity for these guys is going to be around this hairpin. DRS will open. And, well, that looked to me like Boshan got a much better exit. The only problem with that DRS zone, it's so short. The actual DRS effect doesn't seem to really take effect until you're nearly at the corner anyway, so... But you would think it's coming around with the gap here. Surely Boshan's going to get this done on the straight. I'm closing him down now so fast. Takes the inside into turn one. He's not really got side by side, is he? Not fully. Pajala defends that perfectly well. The last thing Boshan wants to do here is get a bit impatient. He needs to just stay patient. There's plenty of laps left. The problem for Boshan, of course, is he must have to pit again. I can't believe he's going to take those softs to the end. So I know they've done a lot of laps under safety car, but still. That's an Alfa Romeo. That's great. Fatal Defiance has just got ahead of Boshan as well. So this lap's turned out to be a nightmare for Alfa Romeo. Look at a challenge. Are we going to go 3 wide? Both have a look at the McLaren. Pajala holds on again. And now look at Boshan. He's gone round the high ground and gets past the McLaren. From Boshan, using his brain there to take the that in real life has proved to be the high traction part of that corner. The pros in real life have tend to use. Problem for these guys, sticking his car in all the right places for defence, although this time he's ran wide. Hey mate, that's all. If you're on his gearbox, you've got the move. And he is. It should be simple. He moves to the outside into turn one and has the move done before they reach the corner. So this time Boshan is through. And now Pajala will come under pressure from Fatal Defiance. And I suspect that Boshan will move off a little bit, but again, surely he has to pit. He'll be keeping an eye on his tyre wear. Without a doubt, he'll keep an eye on his tyre wear. If there's any chance he can take those tyres to the end, he's going to do it. Yeah, let's go back up Pajala, so you see in front and behind. He's not just disappearing from Pajala though. Pajala keeping it within DRS quite comfortably. So look at Fatal Defiance. That's deliberate. He's just run out wide at the earlier part of the corner to get a sort of cutback move. But of course, Pajala has DRS as well off of Boshan, so no overspeed going on there. Oh, and Fatal Defiance is round. Oh, he's hit the barrier with his rear wing. He might have rear wing damage there. So he ghosts, which allows him to get back on track, and he will duck straight into the pits. So, oh look, we can see Apex get a move. Oh no, he's not quite going to get the move done on the ghosting Williams. Go to Goomba then, who's well, Goomba's on the back of Ghost Rider. And Ghost Rider's on the back of Dark Lord, so the free car battle again here. But different drivers as Apex does now get ahead of the ghosting car. And Fatal Defiance is out in P9 on a fresh set of softs to take him to the end, but there is a Sector 2 yellow, and that looks to me like an Alfa Romeo again. It's Boshan this time. Oh dear, Alfa Romeo. They were absolutely flying not so long ago. It's all going wrong in Holland for Romeo. I must admit, when this track got added to the game in was it 2020 or 2019? I can't remember, but it was an exciting one, and it was great to start with. But as it's been around a bit longer, it's one of the races of the season when I'm driving that I do not look forward to anymore. It causes no end of problems. And so Bosjan is into the pits. He sticks on a set of mediums to go to the end. Definitely started the race on mediums, so I would have thought he'd have gone on softs there, but never mind, he's on mediums to the end. Fatal Defiance, who's ahead of him, is also on fresh softs to the end, so it's hard to see Bosjan getting that gap down, but at least he's come out of the pits still in the points, so still a point scoring race for him if we can keep it going to the end. Gumba's all over the back of Dark Lord here. We go into the final two corners. Right, a massive banking right-hander. It's unbelievable, that corner, but surely Gumba now, look, he gets it done before the start-finish line. And he's ahead into turn one, so that is Meanwhile, Ghost Rider then is getting onto the back of Dark Lord as well. Seems like Dark Lord's struggling a little bit. Shouldn't be doing too bad, those mediums, really, at the moment. And the hards, at this point, this probably is getting to around about the point where the hards are becoming as nice as the mediums, probably. I wouldn't say they're better than the mediums yet, but probably as nice. This is the situation you like to be on when you have gone for a hard tyre, is you've got to that point. Your tyre is just kind of... Your car, in a way, is getting slightly faster each lap because of the fuel that's being used up, and the wear of the tyres is lower than the fuel usage, so when you're on hards. So the tyres are kind of faster each lap, whereas the mediums are getting slightly slower each lap. So it's pretty nice when you've got to this point, and you know with every lap that goes by you can battle harder and harder. But at the moment he looks like he's coming under some pressure from Greza. Ghost Rider sticks his car in the... Oh, no, Ghost Rider's spun it on the exit of turn one, and he's around. Ah, oh, unlucky Ghost Rider. They just disappeared off my screen when he spun, so I don't think there would have been any contact. He didn't seem close enough to anyone for there to have been contact, so... Gazelle still hasn't pitted. He genuinely still hasn't pitted yet. He has to pit Gazelle, which means that Rapid Bajala potentially is in a great position to win this race. And into the pits he comes then. So Gazelle is into the pits, presumably going to put a set of... Well, he has to put a set of softs onto the end, and that is Bosjan is off at the same place that Greza went off earlier on. It's all gradually going wrong for Alfa Romeo as Apex now gets past as well. Gazelle is coming out now just as the Mercedes goes through. So Gumba gets ahead, but he's going to get out just ahead of Greza. So Rapid Bajala leads at Zandvoort. And there is no doubt now that he's going to try and push those mediums to the end. He has to. Ghost Rider is in. We saw him go round, so we presume, yeah, new front wing nut. So we've now got sector 2 yellow. That was Dark Lord. Now Bajala leads. It does have a penalty. So, what's happened here? Oh, who did I just miss then? That was Apex. Apex round at turn 1. That one looked to me like he probably caught the inside curb. And he oh, Apex, no, why are you retiring? That gets on my nerves. You just retired from guaranteed points. Demon is not actually in this race, so you've just got retired when you had a guaranteed point. Don't like seeing people retiring. Like that. So Gazelle on fresh softs is going to be desperate to get back through and get. Well, he needs to get past Goomba. He then needs to chase down Big D and get ahead of him, and then he doesn't need to get past Bajala because Bajala has a penalty. So that's what he's got to do if he wants to win this race. He has to get ahead of Goomba and Big D. And that battle's happening now. And Grezzo ain't giving up, look. Grezzo ain't giving up yet. He's right on the back of him. We know Grezzo has fantastic pace, so even with his older medium tyres, I'm no doubt that he can put some pressure on. So those ahead of him. And surely Gazelle here should go flying past. Takes to the inside for turn 1, late on the brakes. And gets... They're still side by side, but I think the move's basically done. Yeah, Goomba, I think rightly probably decided there's no point really in fighting this. It may not be as nice to Grezza, because they're effectively on the same tyre, only one lap between them. And now Roadkill has got 5.3 seconds to make up to his teammate, Big D. Is it teammate? No, apologies, it's not. Looks the same colour on my screen, but it's not. It's AlphaTauri and Red Bull. Oh, and Gazelle's picked up 3 seconds, so that changes things. He now has to get ahead of Bajala. From Big D, who's just... Oh! Like somebody was off track. Bajala and Big D definitely swap places. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what's just happened there, if I'm honest. Oh, I see they've caught up to a back marker. Maybe that's causing some confusion. So it's just a ghost in Williams. Regardless of what position he actually ends up, what a great job Bajala has done. 27 laps he's been on those mediums now, and he's still going strong. They do look like they're falling off a bit now, if I'm honest, because Big D's really caught that gap up quite quickly. Zell still has 3.7 seconds to make up. Goomba... Oh, Grezza's got past Goomba. Got a little battle going on down here between Dark Lord and Ghost Rider, who have both pitted for a brand new softs, by the way, so both quick at the moment. I'll obviously keep an eye on that gap between Gazelle and Big D. Although for the moment, let's go to the leaders, because Big D is looking to make a move on Bajala. With 3 laps remaining, Gazelle needs to be taken off. 1.2 seconds a lap just to catch him at the death. I think it's too much to ask. Let's take a look then. So, lap 34 or 36. Let's take a look at the penalties. Oh, what a shame. Bajala's is a 5-second penalty. Whereas Gazelle's and Dark Lord's are 3 seconds. So, it could end up really hurting in the end. Gazelle's going to get within that time, isn't he? It's more a case of whether Grezza can or not. Don't know what that 5 seconds was for. I think it's for speeding in the pit lane, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. whether it's something that occurred that he might be able to get it removed. That's the thing that Big D's got to think, you see. So it's okay saying, well, he's got a penalty, so I've won this race in a way. The guy behind me's got a penalty. Well, don't be so sure in case there are things that could be removed. All he knows that Pajala one could be that he's been taking a knock on his safety car and been given 5 seconds for a severe collision, which would almost certainly be removed. So oh, would he? Oh, so he didn't retire, he got disqualified. His spin made him block the pit exit. Oh, I love this game. Well, Pajala. Both Pajala and Big D have done absolutely awesome jobs today, as is Gazelle. Reza sort of had an up and down race. It all looked great when he pitted and came back out in 6th with tyres to go to the end. But obviously had some moments since then, which just knocked him down a bit. But other than that, I think my driver of the day has got to be out of Pajala, Big D and Gazelle. As we're on to the final lap, Gazelle he's 1.8 behind Pajala, so as it stands right now, Pajala would drop down to P3, but it's still a podium position. So around the final corner, Rapid Pajala will cross the line in P1 in Netherlands. It gives him the 5 seconds. It's... oh, hang on, what's going on here? Grez has been promoted up to P2. I'm not entirely sure whether that's actually correct, but according to my screen at the moment, it's Big D who takes the win with Greza P2, Gazelle in P3, Pajala P4, Gumba P5, Fate of Defiance P6, Boshan, he's carried on to the end and he's going to pick up decent 6 points in this race. It's been difficult for him in the end. He's fighting really strong earlier on though. Dark Lord finished P8, Ghost Rider P9, and obviously the AIF Demon won't count, so there will be no P10. Obviously a massive congratulations to Big D. The game's given the driver of the day to Big D. It's hard to argue against that, but I am, from the commentator's point of view, I'm going to give my driver of the day to Rapid Pajala, who I think's done an absolutely outstanding job. I don't know if P4 is right or not. We'll have to see. Chris is just saying he knew that would be chaos. It was, mate. It was. But if it makes you feel better, I did a couple of commentaries on Netherlands not so long ago, recently, and they were a lot worse. So, yeah. It's, in a way, it's Greza P2 as a sound. I think that is right, but Greza might just want to take a look at that when they come over the line, because I'm not 100% sure. But maybe that's okay. So Greza P2 in his return to the cockpit. Gazelle in P3, Pajala in P4, who takes my driver of the day as well. Gumba's P5, Fatal Defiance P6, Boshan 7, Dark Lord P8, and Ghost Rider's our final finisher in P9. Unfortunately, Demon couldn't be with us for the start of the race, and we lost Apex close to the end. Dark Mark, Master Spread, Red Bull, Lennon, Private Comet and Danny all out of the race. As I mentioned before, guys, I can't do. Unfortunately, I know we normally do podium interviews, but I'm not able to do that, I'm afraid, because they won't be able to join the audio if they join me in the party chat. So not to worry, I'll get that sorted so that hopefully next week it'll be sorted so that we can get that going. But just unfortunately this week I can't do it. But a massive congratulations to all the finishers really, and the particularly the top three, of course, and Pajala, because I think he was outstanding today. You've got to give it to Big D. Look at that, 4 pit stops to win the race. Fair play. Fastest lap of the race as well for the extra point goes to Greza and Alfa Romeo. As you can see, constructors wise, Alfa big winners. Well, actually they've scored the same amount of points as Red Bull, funny enough. Yeah, they have. They scored exactly the same amount of points. But AlphaTauri a good day as well. Obviously a miserable day for Aston Martin losing master spread, but he'll be back next week. Aston Martin will be back next week. Just going to take a quick gander. We are at Italy next week. Just double checking that is definitely Monza. Looks like it. I can't see. I think it is, yeah, it's Monza next week, so that should be a much better one. So, as always on the streams, guys, thank you ever so much to everybody that's tuned in live. Thank you everybody who watches it back as well. I hope you enjoy it, and no worries, Pajala, congratulations to you, mate. That was a fantastic drive. I can't believe you've taken those mediums so far at the end. Fair play to you. But yeah, massive thank you to everyone who's either watched live or watches it back. I'll be back with you next week then for Monza. So, great job, guys, and see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.